What's up, G.I. Joe fans? Welcome back to the M.I.B. Master Museum. I'll be your curator today. Guys, got another cool G.I. Joe for you. All the way from 1998. We bring you the G.I. Joe Classic Collection. General Colin Powell from our Historical Commanders edition. And this is the fourth in the series. This was a G.I. Joe, a deluxe G.I. Joe. It was high end. It was about $50 at the time back in 1998. And it was also a very difficult Joe to find during that time period. And I'm speaking from my point of view and from other collectors that have spoken to over the time while doing research on this particular figure. This is a figure that I was tracking through my G.I. Joe Collectors Club, and the release date got pushed back a couple times. And then on top of that, once this figure was actually released, it was very difficult to track down. I went to several Toys R Us locations and Target locations, even Walmart locations. Wasn't able to find this guy. And this is what we get into about regions and certain regions having certain action figures. And some people think that's a myth. Some people think it's true. I'm somewhere in between. But with this particular figure, I could see why some people think that certain regions do get, different items than other regions. And this was, it was so hard to find this guy. I did not find my Colin Powell G.I. Joe in a toy store, or I should say a toy store shelf. This was bought offline, something that I rarely did, especially back then, from the internet. And we'll get into a little bit about that, because I bought it from a toy site, not Coswell Collectibles. Coswell Collectibles was the toy site I should have went to, but I was still new to the internet, so I didn't really know a lot about Coswell Collectibles at the time. I'm not going to even give this other toy site any type of free publicity. I was not happy with the purchase when I got it, because I'm M.I.B. But back then, I wanted this figure so badly. I had to get him. And this is not a C10, nor is it a C9. There is definitely some issues with the box. But I've had this in my collection, oh my goodness, since the early 2000s. I think I got this in 2003. And that's how long it took me to track this down. So let's bring this guy down here. Guys, if you're just joining us, welcome to the M.I.B. Master Museum channel. Like and subscribe, guys. Join the fun. Join the family. And we'll open this guy up. Well, let's go around the box real quick. Like I said, it has some imperfections to the box. Here's his enormous equipment list. Look at all of the equipment, accessories that came with this this beautiful figure. And there's a picture of our Colin Powell in all of his glory here, with everything put together. These boxes were made beautifully. The foil type of sheen to it. The tab has the general stars on it. And you can see right around here, this area right here, where some of the cardboard was pulling away from the box a little bit. Little things like that. Things that would normally wouldn't drive the average collector crazy, but it drove me crazy once I received this figure. But That's another story. You have a dent right here, just a crease, I should say, right here along the box. But there's a picture of a good shot of our Colin Powell. Just a beautiful figure. I want to turn this guy around. Get you back of the box. Look here. Let's get you a blown out look here. Just a beautiful, beautiful. This is, like I said, this is why I can't bring myself to destroy these boxes, because you miss all of these fantastic figures. And we have all of these beautiful figures in our collection. Let's get you a year here. 1998. And this is when Kenner was still producing these. And let's open this guy up for you. It has the Velcro. And here's a good blown out shot. Packaged very beautifully. Here's this, and this foil. I'm sorry for the glare of the foil, guys, but it gives you a picture there, and Colin Powell's, all of his biography, I should say, on the back there. And here's our Colin Powell. He came with 2 flags, base, another patch. This uniform is absolutely gorgeous. As you see, our Colin Powell, he's still factory sealed. There's Garrison's cap up here. There's his nameplate here. Just beautifully done. The head sculpt on this Colin Powell was just fantastic. And this figure was layered up. Tons of clothes, articles of clothing on. All the way down to his beautiful shoes here. You see he's locked in. There's an insert picture of our Colin Powell. The real deal Colin Powell, I should say. Colin Powell is really famous for the Desert Storm War that he played an integral part in, the tactical part of it, back in the late 1989, 1990, 91. And there was even talk about Colin Powell actually running. That's how much momentum and how adored he was by the American public, that there was talk about him running for president. And he declined, and would later go on to work with President Bush in his administration. It's just a beautiful figure. It's one of my favorite figures, and one of the reasons I haven't upgraded on the box is because I've had this one for so long that it just hasn't been a real concern to me. You know, looking back on it, like 10, 15 years later, it's like, once again, the figure is in fantastic shape. Everything's in fantastic shape. The problem is the box has a few issues to it, and I'm just really crazy when it comes to stuff like that. But this box and this figure has so much patina to it, so much character to it. It's like, it's kind of grown on me. So it's one of the few boxes in my collection that has that's less than perfect, I should say, that really doesn't drive me crazy anymore. It used to, but not anymore. especially if the figure is still sealed and factory sealed, and there's no wear to the figure, no neglect, which there isn't. Some people say, well, man, what are you complaining about? It's just the box is in pretty decent shape, but that's just me, guys. It's an illness. Guys, what do you think of our Colin Powell? Do you have this guy? Do you remember this G.I. Joe? We want to hear all of that. Let's get the chatter started about Colin Powell. Leave your comments right underneath this video in the comment section. A lot of collectors took this particular figure out of his box to display him, in their office areas or somewhere in their collection room. And he displayed very well. I know several collectors that no longer have him in the box and just primarily have him on display underneath a glass case. And he was the fourth, like I said earlier in the video, this figure was the fourth and last of the historical generals collection from Hasbro and / Kenner. Get you some. The collectors love the close-ups here. Everything's done so beautifully there. The U.S. pins there on his lapels there. He's got the tie, green shirt on, and he didn't come, surprisingly enough. He's so famous for his glasses. He didn't come with glasses. He just didn't come with glasses. I think that would have been the piece de la resistance. I'm getting it right, guys. That would have been really the topping of the cake there. If he would have, the icing on the cake, if he would have they would have given him glasses, because he was so famous for those glasses, seeing him with the glasses on. As a matter of fact, I can't tell you when I could remember seeing him without his glasses. Just a beautiful figure. It's a beautiful G.I. Joe. And this is just another historical point in time that Hasbro and G.I. Joe has teamed up to really bring us a historical figure like this. Guys, we got more fun on the way. Stay tuned. You know the routine. Don't touch that dial. God bless. And keep collecting.